Afternoon, everyone. Hope we are well. How are we doing? Welcome back to FFTV with me, Francis Green. New video, as you know, another day, another daily vibe. There's a lot to probably talk about. To be honest, we've got to be honest. There's a lot to talk about. I'm just looking to see where the overlay is. Looks like we've lost the overlay. People not happy about that. Let me try and find the overlay. Oh, interesting. Interesting that I can't find the overlay. Right, so let's just get bang into this. Forget the overlay. Put that across the bottom. There we are. Try and find the overlay, as you know. So welcome, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Big up. I know it's been a fine weekend with regards to the weather. Good or bad, as you know, we've got to be positive and also make sure that we are, how can I put it, looking one step ahead every single time. So today's video, and he's just popped in the chat now. I'll get to the chat. Today's video is one that was suggested by Chris. He's just came to the chat now. Thanks ever so much for a little suggestion. And I think today's video is going to be a little bit different. I think we need to diversify. I think we need to bring a little bit of different stuff all the time, because what you see a lot of the time on the internet is the same stories. I know you get different opinions, but the same type of stories, whether it's AFTV, whether it's Mark Goldbridge, whether it's, I don't know, it's everyone says the same thing. Obviously, we give a little bit more insight from our point of view, and we get a little bit more in depth and dissect it a little bit more than I suppose other channels do. But yeah, today we're going to go over what model do Arsenal need to do in the future, and we'll get onto the fact that will the fans be patient enough, etc. But first, I think we should only go over, obviously, the transfer news that's been flying around left, right, and center. Again, all the comments will be flying in. Really do appreciate it. So we'll start the video and then we'll go into the comments. So, you know, make sure that we don't miss no one out. So yeah, that's what I think we'll go into for. We'll go straight into the transfers. Now, if you've not already, because I have noticed that a lot of people watch the videos and they've not subscribed, make sure you hit the like and make sure you hit the subscribe button, because that really helps us grow as a community. And I always say it, you are the ones that make the community and you are the ones that will make this channel successful. I will put the content in, and then we will go from there as a community. So if you've not already, hit the like and hit the subscribe. So first of all, transfer rumors going left, right, and center. As we know, this Ben White is imminent. That's going to get obviously announced. We know that. Everyone seems to be saying it. We already know that. Lokonga seems to be going to be announced soon, even though Anderlecht did put a post up and then withdrew it, which was quite strange in my opinion, that they was going to put a post up and then they would take it down. So maybe it wasn't for them to be how can I put it, maybe it wasn't for them to be releasing it so early. That's probably the best I could put it, releasing it so early. And then we've got the Madison, we've got the Aouar, we've got the Tammy, we've got a few others in the pipeline that seem to be not going away. The Max Aarons, as Chris is saying, the Locatelli. So for me, there's a lot of exciting signings in and around the mix. We can't take it as gospel, because we know as Arsenal fans and fans of other football clubs, paper talk is paper talk, innit? We all know what it's all about. I think I may have found our overlay. Did it go missing? Here we are. We've got the overlay back, people. So yeah. So like you say, few flying around. Madison, I can't see Madison happening. I really can't. I just really can't see it happening. Tammy Abrahams, I'm sorry, Ivan Toney all day over Tammy Abrahams. Tammy Abrahams would be lucky to score 20 goals in the championship, in my opinion. I can't remember what he scored when he went, because he has been on loan a few times, but for me, he's just a hard-working, gangly kind of type centre forward. Not for me. Now, a couple of you in the chat, excuse me with the mic, sorry about that. As we know, Lokonga is coming up. Someone's put Tammy. Yeah, we don't really, not a massive fan of Tammy, are we? Let's be honest. So let's go through. A few messages before we get into the meat and veg. So Grant, as always, thanks for supporting. Afternoon to you, pal. Caps has come in. Big up, Fran. Big up to you, Caps, as well. Albert done deal. Well, let's see. You never know, do you, at this football club? Gremlins from Chris. Caps has put, true, say, bro, keep it different and fresh. Yeah, we can't keep. Listen, everyone says the same thing. Some people don't do live streams. Some people do live streams, but it's like they get information from everyone else in the morning, and then they come and say exactly the same as what everyone else has said. That's not what we're about, and that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring it differently. That's what we're trying to do as a community as well. Sentiments put, where is he? Salutations, FG. Yep, you know. So Chris has asked to obviously do our rate Max Aarons. Never really looked at him. There was him, there was Rico Evans, a few others. You got to remember, I think it was Bayern, I think it was Barca were linked with Max Aarons. He's a very, very, very good player. Great to buy and sell on. And he's one of the players that want us to go for. I really want us to go for. We've got Madison. I don't think we're going to go for Madison. You've got Awar. I think we can get him. He's a good price. I think he'll fit in. Tammy Abrahams, no way. Max Aarons, definitely. Locatelli, if we can, definitely. Will he set the light? Will he set the world alight, Locatelli? No, but he'll be something that we haven't got. What Arteta is trying to do is trying to get players that we don't have. Now, Ben White, I believe, I was sitting there, I was thinking about it this morning. Ben White, for me, I think Arteta has gone to his right-hand man and spoke to Pep, because Man City, I've heard on the grapevine that Man City were the first team to show the liking to White and Man United. Now, Man United, they're looking for the finished article, go straight in, boom, because they need to keep the gap with Man City. Man City is not going to play. He's one for the future. It wouldn't surprise me if Pep has told Arteta secretly on the background, go and get Ben White. He's an outstanding talent, which he is an outstanding talent. Go and get Ben White. If it becomes established, 80 million, job done, we'll buy him. Would not surprise me, because that's how football works. So the thing with Ben White is, yes, he's not exciting. Okay, he's not one of those players that we want to see exciting, but it's good business from Arsenal. A lot of people are surprised that he's chosen Arsenal, because I know Chelsea were in, I know Man United were in, and even Liverpool apparently. But I think he's gone to Arsenal because they're the ones that have shown him the most love. They're the ones that have shown him that, come on, put your arm around him. We're going to make you even better than what you are. So I think it's a very, very good signing, in my opinion, the Ben White one. But Lokonga, I think, will be announced very, very soon. We will get that one sorted. Madison's not going to happen an hour, like say, but Max Aarons is a good player. So go through some comments and let's get into the meat and veg again. Are you Guna? Big up, friend. Big up to yourself. Chris has put Lokonga already announced. Right, okay. I did see a tweet that got removed. Ashton's put big up everyone. Big up to yourself. Caps has put Tammy Hell. No way. I agree with that. Tony's put, I, Fran, heard Arsenal have released crypto coins. What are they? Interesting. I'll have to look into that. You know, I'm about crypto. I'm actually in a trade right about now. Let me just check it. Check it on my phone because you never know. It changes quite quickly, as we know. Yeah, but that one's not bad at the moment. That one's not bad. Hopefully we can make some money before we get off here. But we'll see. Everyone's going to release a coin tone. Everyone. There's about 9,000 coins. Probably 90% of them are worth nothing in the end. So, but interesting. It might be worth something as a fan. Chris put, maybe Arsenal have to deal with Chelsea, that we take their unwanted players for cheap. Maybe they do have a deal. Aaron's a good player, very good. Caps is saying. Ashton's put, Tammy is clumsy striker like Danny Welbeck, which isn't what we need. No, Danny Welbeck, to be fair, I thought did all right. He's probably better than Tammy Abrahams, and that tells you a lot. Mr. Messi B, what is up? Big up to yourself. Really do appreciate the message. Stay consistent, and I'm sure your numbers will grow in no time. Compound effect is life. Tony C's put, please no more ex-Chelsea players. We don't want any more. Are you Guna has put, yes, Ashton, big up to yourself. And Caps has put Neves or Awar. Interesting. When I see Neves, let's talk about Neves, because we've kind of gone under the radar a bit now. Neves at Wolves, not last season, the season before, was terrific. We've got to be honest. It was absolutely terrific. And I think most clubs would have just snapped him up. Most clubs, let's be honest, would have snapped Neves up. And Podence, I just think at the moment now, a lot of people are worried about pace. A lot of people are worried about, is he now he's holding. He's a holding midfielder. He will do what we've not got in the team. He'll be able to spray the ball left, right, and centre. So I think for me, it's a good addition. Awar, is he the same as Neves? Is he more advanced? Does he like to get more up the field? Does he want to be a little bit more creative, if you know what I mean? So for me, I just think both would do. Let's be honest. Both would do, but I don't think we can afford both. Really don't think we can afford both. I really don't, which is disappointing, really, because a club like ourselves should be able to push for both players. For both players. So I would probably go Neves first, to be honest, Caps. Chris has put we really need a keeper. Leno seems unsettled. Grant's put Lokonga has been made official, just broke Sky News. Perfect. So that's good. I don't think he's going to be ready yet, but I hope he can slot straight in. And Awar is more of a dribbler. Yeah, Awar's more of, like you wants to create a little bit more. So I think if we can get Awar, Neves, we've got Lokonga, Tavares will be back up. Max Aarons and maybe Locatelli or a Maddison. That'd be great. And I think we are right. I think we do need a goalkeeper. You're right. Neves runs the game better. Neves is very good at running the game. Very, 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 very good at running the game. And I love to see that. If you followed me, if you watched me play before, I love to see players getting the ball deep and really trying to dictate play. I absolutely love it. So that is when it comes to the transfers, okay? Now, the video for me was Chris's idea. So big shout out to Chris in the chat. Chris sent me a private message and a few things that he's interested in. So, by the way, message me below this video if there's things that you want me to talk about more in depth on the other side of the game, from the ex-player's point of view or the agent's point of view. Give me some ideas if that's what you want, because that's what we're about. We're about bouncing off each other. And Chris came up with this idea. He was on about, what model do Arsenal need to go down with? So what model do Arsenal need to do? Because everyone's moaning about we're, a mediocre club. We're mid-table now. We can't compete with the top 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And I completely 100% agree. Now, if we can't compete with these, then we can't use the old Arsenal model. Would you say? Because that's what I think. I don't think you can use the old model. Now, there then comes a question. If you want Arsenal to work in the way of the likes of Leicester, if you want Arsenal to work in the way of an Ajax, a Dortmund, where they look to get players what we've never heard of and then make money and build that way, and that's probably the only way we're going to be able to get back to where we are, because we're back now a lot lower, which is going to be a lot harder because we took our eye off the ball. And when you take your eye off the ball, competition catches you up and overtakes you. When the likes of Villa are trying to show more ambition, West Ham are trying to show more ambition, we got to look at ourselves as a club and think, wait a minute, we've been caught up. We've been caught up. We now can't afford to be overtaken and being left behind ridiculously. That's a problem. That's a big, big problem. So when it comes to wanting to get a model, are the fans, and you tell me, people, willing to be patient to allow this model to compound and be successful? Because it doesn't happen in a season. It doesn't happen in 2 seasons. It might not happen in 4 or 5 seasons, because you got to remember, every 10 years, a new generation of player comes through. So are you, as fans, are the fans willing to be patient and sacrifice competing with the best to try and get to where we need to get to? That's the problem that I think we're going to have, as anyone's going to have with us going down the Leicester route. Everyone wants to praise Leicester. Everyone wants to praise Ajax, Dortmund, and what Villa are doing now. And they've got a great academy. And some kids, a lot of players are going to Aston Villa's academy. They get to the semi-final or the final of the FA Youth Cup. But you've got to remember, Villa just survived on the final day of the season 24 months ago. And everyone's talking about this great club. The history tells you a great club, but you know me. tweeted it earlier. Talk about the history, it's ego. Talk about the future, it's ego. You got to know what's going on now. So our history, Villa's history, no one gives a you know what? Because I definitely don't. I definitely don't know. I can't go and sit down and say to my mates, well, I remember when Henry was great. I remember when Bergkamp was great. And I remember when we had the Sega kit and Wiltord was at Old Trafford in people's face. No one cares. No one cares. And I definitely don't care. I can tell you that for sure. I do not care about what we were. I want to know what we're doing today and how we're going to move forward. And the fact of the matter is, if we don't come up with a model from top to bottom, we are going to find ourselves going further and further and further away. Because the top clubs, they've got a philosophy now. They know how they work. Chelsea, hire and fire. That's how they've got their success. Man City have come in. And the first people, remember, they've had two owners, but both owners had a vision of what they wanted the club to be like. And it takes a while. Now, we can't think of Man City because Man City won absolute oil money in just endless pot of money. And then also, we're not in League One. We're not, you know, Man City was in League One, then they went to the Championship, and then they did well, and then they got in, and then they built what they did. But they still had to get out of League One and show the vision. So we can't go down that route of a Man City, one, without the investment. So for me, the only way that we can go is a Leicester model with the recruitment. Leicester model with the recruitment, and then you take it from there. Now, people forget, Leicester have got a lot of money. Leicester have pumped in a lot of money. So if the Cronkies are not willing to pump in a lot of money on a consistent basis, then it's going to be like when you see these clubs in League One and League Two and in the conference where they have 2 seasons where they throw all their money to the old ex-pros coming down the leagues. They try and get out of the conference. They try and get out of League One or League Two. It goes wrong. And then the owners are too far down in their tax difference. And then they walk away from the club. Most owners are probably going to do that. So we need to be very careful on what we wish for. Then if we do wish for a money bags owner, because you've seen a Man United and you've seen all these people get money bags owners and then turn against the owners. Do we then turn against the owners? You know, for me, we need to look at it from our point of view where we are. We're a mid-table team with a mid-table mindset of an owner, which now we've hired a mid-table manager. So we have to have a philosophy like a mid-table team. And that's what Leicester did. That's what probably Leeds are going to do now they're established. And we'll get overtaken by Leeds. We'll get overtaken by Leicester. We are overtaken by Leicester. Next, it'll be Villa. Then it'll be West Ham. And you'll be thinking, wait a minute. Arsenal are 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, as in ambition. So that's just my thoughts, people. It really is. I mean, what are your thoughts? Let me go through the comments. Let me go through the comments. Comments is always, very, very, very important to what we're doing here. So younger players with huge potential. That's the big problem. People are moaning that we've got Lukonga. People are moaning that we've got Tavares. But that's the model. You hope that they then go on to be excellent and you can sell them for 50s, 60s, millions, because that's what it is in this. That's what it is in business. You may get a 50 and a 60 million where all of a sudden you then go out for the next one, but it comes down to recruitment. It comes all down to recruitment. Ashton's put Ivan Gazidis, a couple of years, did he say he wanted Arsenal to follow the Leicester model and Arsenal fans went crazy and said no to propose? That's what I mean. That's what the problem is. So it's like, you know, for me, I'll come back to that, Chris. It's like that, innit? It's like when we're younger, right? We want the best looking bird. We want the best looking attire. We want the Mercedes at 17. And we want a little plush apartment in the town centre. Even if you're not a footballer, that's what you want, right? And you want to pop a few champers. Not everybody, of course not, right? And you think as soon as you get paid, you go and buy the new whatever it is, Prada jacket. You go and buy the new Prada shoes. You get yourself on the VIP list and you buy a table with your friends and you get the Mercedes on finance because you want it all straight away. And you realize 5 years later, you don't own the car. No one cares about the clothes and someone else is popping bottles in the club. No patience. We've all been there, right? We've all been there. So it only works if you look at it as a project, a 5-year project, a 6-year project. And people want, well, our transitional period. Transitional periods can take 5 to 10 years. How long does the transitional period take within yourself if you really put the work in? 2, 3, 4, 5 years? If you drank alcohol before, you was a drug addict before, don't happen overnight. It takes years. If you want to improve as a person, you want to get better with money, you want to get better with relationships, you want to get better with your kids, it takes years. And society today, because they put an Instagram post up and they get instant gratification. If they feel sad, they put a post up that they feel sad. And everyone says, what's the matter with you? And they all of a sudden feel better. That's a problem. People are not patient enough. And with Arsenal fans, or fans around the world, you have to be patient if you want to build a football club, and you have to restart again. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's a very old traditional saying, as we know. So Chris has put, it's simple. If we don't get a sugar daddy that prepared to spend big every season, we need a different model and settle for the second best until the bubble bursts with the rich clubs. Exactly, but sugar daddies have always, remember Fulham when they got out the Championship, I think at one time, it was Khan, Harrods before, it was Mohammed Al Fayed before. And it's money. But you've got to think where we are the next one. So you've got the 2 sugar daddies, right? There's two big sugar daddies, Chelsea and Man United, Man City. You're not going to get near them, right? Chelsea and Man City, you're not going to get near them. So we then need to be the best of the next set down. We need to be the best of the next set down. Let's be honest. Now, that only happens, that only happens to be the best of the next set down if you've got a great business model. Leicester have got a great business model. Spurs have got the worst business model going. They're shambolic. Look at them. They're all over the place. But at the moment, they're still finishing above us. Caps has put, we don't buy ready-made players because it's hard to get resale value. Well, listen, unless you need instant success, which we don't, then there's no point in us going for these ready-made players. 1, they won't come no more because they want to play in Europe. And 2, they're going to cost us too much money. You're not going to rebuild because they come in, they get instant success, they go. They come in, they get instant success, they go. You know? I've already read that one out for Ashton. So Chris has put patience, yes. Current staff at Arsenal that makes transfer decisions, not Kroenke. It needs a complete overhaul. Complete overhaul from everything. Where are we? Grant's put, Ashton wrong. He said he wanted to compete with Bayern Munich, European elite, and Arsenal are struggling to compete with Burnley. Ashton also put, it's Klopp said it the first interview at Liverpool, the fans shouldn't carry their history on the backpack like what we're doing at Arsenal. History is done. History is history for a reason. Only thing history is great for is to learn from. Simple. Brandon, what's up? Frank, I hope you're well, mate, in South Africa. Big up to yourselves. But everything calm in South Africa now, but we are on our guard. The economy has lost 50 billion from all the issues. Bread has gone from 15 Rand to 30 Rand a loaf. Madness, absolute madness, what happens in the world. Chris has put, agree, clever recruit, but not necessarily going for big names. A lot of them don't try anymore. They have the huge salary contracts. Football has changed. The modern day footballer who gets a big contract is not like the olden days. Gazida said that is 2016 at Grant. Brand has also put, we only buy young players now and hope they get better and sell them off, build from there. That's the model we need to go down. But the amount of nonsense and the amount of negativity I see towards that model, I don't understand what people want. I still see people saying Jack Grealish. We're never going to get Jack Grealish. Never. We are never going to get Jack Grealish. We might have 24 months ago if we would have took the risk, but no one was talking about Jack Grealish 24 months ago, even though, by the way, he's 25 and everyone knows he's been good since 19, 15. The football snobbery to its best. They don't want to do it, people. They don't want to do it. Chris has put, again, how good is our youth system compared to the Prem club? Southampton survived their way. They're a selling club. Yeah, ours is nothing like it used to be. And the same happened to Man United. When Alex Ferguson left and the staff, Man United neglected their youth. They ended up being shocking for years. They've only just started putting it back in. Nicky Butt's coming. I think he's still there. And they've only just started to concentrate on trying to get the best players again. But they lost their way. And they got overtaken by Liverpool, by Man City, by Villa. They got overtaken. Sorry, I didn't read that one out, Chris. The big money club model has to end at some point. It's not sustainable. The only way it ends is if they can't sell it to someone else who has got that amount of money. Because if you look at them, most sports, some of them stay within for ages, for years, decades. If they keep, you got to remember, if that club keeps making money, then there's no point in selling. Grant Sport Arsenal model is fine, but it is being operated by a circus who let their assets run down their contracts from being good for nothing. Listen, their model from start to finish has been absolutely woeful for years. I think Arsene Wenger was smoothing over the cracks. I really do. Wilson, what's happening, mate? Hope you're well. Hope you're safe, staying safe, and do well on a boiling Monday. Beautiful. I'm used to 40 degrees on by being away, so I love this. Absolutely love it. Caps, but our owners have so much money as the sugar daddy owners, but Arsenal ain't running it club right. They have a lot of money, but you got to remember they don't. It's not their passion. American soccer's not their passion. Sibon's put big up FFTV, big up yourself. Make sure as well, by the way, the only fee that we ask for is that you share. Just retweet, share, give us a like. That's the only fee that we obviously want off you guys for support of the channel. Wilson's put, I feel that signal signings like White, Lokonga, and Torres are stepping in the right direction, but we have got a lot of work to do in the transfer window. 100% agree. I think it's a good way of doing business, but we have to be. People are already saying Arteta out. People are already saying, we can't compete with these. We got to be real where we are, people. You got to be real where you are. You got to be real in your own life, and you got to be real when it comes to football. We've got to be real. Levan's put, yo, Fran, hope you are good. Have you seen that we have confirmed the Lokonga signing? Yeah, I didn't see it, but a few people in the chat will put it, as we're on that, we put it on Sky Sports, which is great to see. Brandon's also put, we have to be selling club for a few years, bite the bullet. I know it's hard. I know we're used to Arsenal fans. Listen, it takes longer than a few years. It takes longer than a few years to be a selling club. You have to produce players, you know. Sibon's put, if White is handled well, can be an influence like Van Dijk, Diaz for Liverpool City. Listen, Man City rate White highly, but they just don't need him at the moment. They rate White highly. Got to remember that. Got to remember. Caps, is it true? No FFP this season. I couldn't elaborate on that, Caps. I have no idea. I've not really seen anything. Chris is put Stan Kroenke uses Arsenal to make him money. The others use their money to buy success. Very true. He makes money off it and doesn't really want to put it back in. Levan's put, now that there's two through the door now. Hopefully the big signings the next, i.e. Madison or Aaron's. I hope we get, for me, I hope we get Neves, Aaron's, and Awar at the moment. Locatelli seems to be loved somewhere else. Not really interested, but we'll take it with a pinch of salt. Caps and Chris are talking about that. I think it's true. And Bang Bangs, big up, mate. Hope you are well. Really do appreciate you coming in the chat. Hope you are good. These charts look horrendous. Need the Prem back ASAP. I think you're on about crypto. I'm in a trade at the minute. Keep looking at my phone over here. It keeps going down. I'm not happy. Still in profit, though. Still in profit. That's the main thing. Still in a nice little profit. But the chart needs to just bounce back up. Come on. Let's get bounced back up. What's happening, Darren? Hope you're well, mate. Darren has said there is no problem with selling the youth. Chelsea make millions from their academy. They recently sold Tomori for 30 million and Gia for 20 million, 50 million money, which could do with. I mean, their model is unbelievable the way they do. But you have to spend a lot of money. But Gia and Tomori would walk into our team, absolutely walk, and they've just got rid of them. Walk. Exactly, Francis. You are absolute right. Thanks so much, Wilson. Also, Brandon's put, how many years, Fran? Listen, to build a model like buying young players, producing them, you're looking minimum for me between 5 and 8 years, because you've got to remember, if you buy a Tavares now, or you buy a Lokonga now, if they might have a spanking first season, then the myth's out of the way. But say they do well for 2 seasons and they double your money. So you sell them. There's 2 years gone, maybe 3. You then bring the next ones in. But then you've got to somehow, so say you do that 2 or 3 times, that's 6, 7, 8, 9 years. And then that money, what you've made, then goes in to build your superstars again. That's what I think. It takes time. Chris has put, Kroenke sees Arsenal as a business. He's like sports club. He could have been a grocer, which he was. Listen, Business. Levans, but if Aubameyang and Lacazette continue misfire in front of goal, then we might well replace them with Curtis Shaw and Frank Green. I think I can do better than Lacazette. I can tell you that. I could tell you that. Wilson's, but I love Arsenal to get Maddison, but I got a sneaky feeling that he might get Odegaard because Arteta absolutely does him. He won't go for Odegaard. Odegaard will be priced out of it. We won't get Odegaard, and I don't think Odegaard will come. To be honest, Wilson, Maddison might come. Levans put, oh yeah, Neves would be good also. We also need a backup goalie to Leno. I'd prefer Sam Johnson. Yeah, a lot have said that. About we need. I think Chris, I think a few of us, Tony, etc., have said about obviously the goalkeeper situation. So a lot of great comments, as we know, in the chat now. The model, like we say, the only model that we can go for is, for me, the Leicester model. If we want to get back to where we want to get to, the Leicester model is the only one for me that I think is going to work. Now, I don't think we're patient enough. I don't think we see that vision as a football club, as a fan base. And I also think the Kroenkes, they're business people. They may see that vision, and it looks like now with Tavares, with Lokonga, with even Awar, however you pronounce his name, he's a good player, but he's not going to cost us a fortune. So he's one of those where we could, get him in and make money again if he was to smash up the Premier League, So I just think that our fan base are going to expect too much. That's the big problem for me. I just think our fan base are going to expect too much. And how are we going to move forward, everyone, if we can't see the vision? How are we going to move forward if we don't see that? That's the model we need to go down. We cannot compete with the big four. And at the moment, we're going to be struggling to get in the six. We can't compete with Leicester at the moment because of their model. No one would moan if we was to get a Mahrez and a Kante and they turned out the way they did. But when we got them, or if we ever got them, people would say, well, why have you got a Kante who was in the League Two in France and then went to League One? Why would you get a Mahrez? Why didn't PSG go for them? That's what everyone would be saying. And then everyone would be saying, oh, it's bad business. But when it's Leicester, everyone says it's good business. And it's just because Leicester are not seen as an Arsenal, because everyone talks about the history. Fact of the matter is, you can have 50, 100 years worth of history, but if you don't continue to do what you do, it'll only take 5 seasons, 10 seasons, not even that, for everyone else to overtake you. You can go to the gym for 10 years straight. You can go running for 10 years straight, right? Trust me, and some of you probably know this already, right? And you can literally not run for 6 months, yeah? And someone who have not been running for 10 years could literally start running for 6 months. And when you've not ran for 6 months and they've ran for 6 months, they might be near you, if not have overtaken you. That's the same in business. That's the same in ourselves. And that's the same in football clubs. You've got to have 5, 6 options. That's why when you see the media, everyone's linked with everyone. Because it's option after option after option after option after option all the time. Because people need to, it's conveyor belt. And we need to go and get the best youth system to produce the best players. Go and get the best kids abroad. Go and get the best kids at even Leicester Youth, right? You go to Leicester Youth, which have got a good youth team, right? And Arsenal go and try and take a kid and show them the pathway and say, this is the pathway to the first team. You're going to get players from Arsenal. You're going to get players from Liverpool, Everton. You're going to produce these players. You look at our youth team. 5 of them might make it. 5 of them might make it. Everyone's talking about Balogun. Did you see him the other day? He looked like he couldn't trap a bag of cement. We get ahead of ourselves. We've got to build a model. Go and get the youth team. Get players like, for example, someone's just mentioned, who is it? Caps has mentioned Pereira. Pereira would be about 15 million at West Brom. Bring him in. You're going to get 40 million for him if he ends up being as good as... Listen, he's going to be better for Arsenal than he was for West Brom. And he was West Brom's best player. So you can double your money. He then goes into something else. Don't be paying people 350, 400 grand a week to keep them around. We are not Real Madrid. We are not Barca. We are not Man City. We are not Chelsea. We are not Man United. So why are you paying those type of wages? Doesn't make sense to me. When someone said to me, you got to throw everything at Aubameyang, I was thinking, I get your point, but don't throw everything at him. 350 to 400 grand a week. I was like, you crazy, crazy, crazy. And the only reason they did it with Ozil because they were petrified to lose him because Sanchez. Petrified because Sanchez went. The model's all wrong. The business is all wrong. They've got it wrong. All wrong in their head. They don't know what they're doing. And that's the problem, people. That is the problem. We go to a couple of the comments. Brandon's put, Fran, I've been supporting Arsenal since 1998. We were winning leagues, and even when we lost the 2-6 Champions League, I didn't take it hard. I thought we were back as soon, but now it's so far away. And that's what hurts people. History hurts you. History hurts you. It's like that, I don't know, the best car you ever had, the best girlfriend you ever had at the time. You thought, oh, history hurts me. You know, you got to move on and adapt. Chris has put, so how do as fans get a voice and ideas to the management of the club? AFTV have a foothold in the door via some of their presenters, but their ideas are emotional and a bit naive. Hey, listen, AFTV has been great for the fans, but it also works against Arsenal Football Club unintentionally. Unintentionally. They need to get someone on there who's going to go and talk about models. I know Robbie, etc. Recently, obviously Curtis is on there a lot, but the decisions are very biased, a lot of the stuff, and very emotional. And exactly what you said. Someone needs to go in with no emotion and understand the dynamics of how football clubs work from the ground all the way up. And that would be a very, very good addition to AFTV. It would be a very, very good addition. Wilson's put, why the hell are Arsenal not pursuing Anana? For the guy would be brilliant replacement for Leno. Yeah, I think he would be good. Maybe they are behind the scenes. We don't know. Brandon's put, Fran, yep, already read that one. Chris is obviously, I think, replying. Don't know Arna. Is he that good? He's worth getting. Definitely worth getting. Caps has put, prayer for West Brom would be a smart signing. Oh, great signing. You want creative midfielder? He was one of the best in the Premier League. He played for West Brom. Wilson's put, surely some sections of a fan base needs to be realistic by realizing what Arsenal really are right now. We need to be real. Not many people want to be real, Wilson. Because they, who was it? I think someone in the chat, Bjorn, he doesn't really come in the chat, but he sent me a couple of personal messages and they were so detailed. And he was saying that, which I found amazing. A lot of people who watch football or don't even watch football, they play FIFA. And they actually think that these players that are good on FIFA are good in real life. And they go off what they think about a player off FIFA, which is unbelievable and the most stupid thing I've ever heard to even think about a computer game. But actually, when I started thinking about it, the amount of people I spoke to, the modern day footballer, kids, think players are from FIFA. So it's just bonkers, absolute bonkers. Sayanda, thanks for popping in. He has put, or is she? I'm not 100% sure because it's the first time I've seen you in the chat, but thank you for coming along. Is it because that there's less pressure on players at Leicester to perform than Arsenal? It's because there's less pressure on Leicester as a whole club. So there's less pressure on the manager. Now, that's getting a little bit different because they've been in and around the mix for a while now. So that's getting a little bit different, but there's less pressure. Now, Arsenal, the reason that they don't want to, they're probably petrified of going down this model, but they've got to now, is because they know that the pressure is on them straight away because everyone goes in history and everyone talks about what we used to be. So there's pressure on it. You know, it's like the kid at school who was the best ever kid at school and everyone used to talk about him. And then you don't want to go to the reunion because he ended up being a bum and nothing. The pressure of expectation. That's what it's like. Chris, Grant speaking to Chris, he plays for Ajax and he's a good goalkeeper. Yeah, definitely worth pursuing. A lot of other clubs are pursuing him. Good goalkeeper. He might be worth going. He might be going to Lille. I think Ashton's also put. Chris, some fans believe we have a good reputation to maintain after ESL, sacking members of the staff at the Williams signing and finishing 8th for 2 seasons in a row. It's not the one. It really isn't the one. I've got to be honest. The how can I put it? The smoothing over the cracks and glossing what actually is going on is not the one. And we're doing that to a T. We are going over the... We're trying to blindside the fans. We're trying to blindside everyone with all the PR and the kits and all this nonsense. And people have got to wake up. People have really got to wake up. Captain's put, we've also a good youth system. We had Czech with Van Persie. We brought them young. Exactly. But that's it. Bang Bang's art models etched in history, heritage. I think unless new ownership or manager who's a leader and not club's mouthpiece, Arteta comes in, models won't change. I think we're starting to change, and that's why we've aimed for these fringe players. I don't think a lot of people are happy. We produced Saka, ESR. Don't forget, during Wenger's best years, he brought clever rather than promoted through the ranks. Yep, Saka and ESR, very, very good at the moment. I think we'll only get better. But for me, they could easily be out the game by 26, 27 somewhere else and not really produced. But that, you know, they could sign huge contracts. Interesting to see what happens when fear comes in, expectation, and big money with young players. Tony's put, remember we brought Thierry when he was relatively unknown. He's also playing out of position. How he turned out, need to make our scouting the best. You got to make your scouting. You know, Man City have got scouts in every corner of the world. It's unreal. And to figure out ways to get them to the UK through visas, etc. Ashton, Francis Kajagio, Kajigio, or Gayo, we'll say, can't remember how you pronounce it, brought them through and furloughed him last summer for Edu's know-how in the market. True. We had an easy run to the Champions League final and with a declining team. Yes, 100%. I think we had an easy run. And like Southgate, if it's not prepared, you won't win. Mud Butter, thanks for popping in. He has put Pereira is a great shout. He'd be more around 25. Apparently, he can go for 15. And I've even heard one of the Saudi clubs, because they would offer him an absolute massive pot of money. FIFA and real life completely different. Exactly. Ashton's put, Trip 2, what are you talking about? I'm embarrassed to be an Arsenal fan, bro. I just tell some of my colleagues that I'm a football fan and support no one at the moment. That is funny that people don't want to say that they're Arsenal fans. Considering Carnage just put, why don't Arsenal go for Nick Pope and compete for number spot with Leno? I think they need someone. Nick Pope seems to be always, you know, spoken about, then quiet, then spoken about. Oh, you're going to put FIFA? I swear these kids think FIFA's real. Chris, I think he's speaking to Wilson. Society and football is all about now instant success. They see it at Man City and Chelsea. It's not a mature philosophy. There is no longevity to it. I mean, people, like say, dopamine, straight on Instagram, straight on whatever, put a sub story up, want a like, makes them feel better. Instant gratification. It's sad how we've tried to build, well, how we're starting to build the mindset. Actually, I don't even say it's built it. It's thousands of years of not even changing a mindset that we've always like dopamine. We're addicted to dopamine, and we're using these apps for dopamine. Lafala, I created my play on FIFA 91, FIFA stats, I mean, MTN. Kids nowadays think FIFA stars are real. Yeah, 100%. They say, have you seen him on FIFA? You're like, mate, what are you on about? Absolutely admire your passion. Great content as always. Appreciate it. You know, football's life. Brandon's put, we are top 8 team now. I accepted that we're building now. I'm just calm. Got too much going on in my life, but we support Arsenal. Anyways, exactly. We've got to remember when people say, don't let it ruin you. Don't let it get in the way of how privileged and blessed you all are. Caps has put, William was a 2-year deal max. How he got free, I don't know. It's the only way we were going to get him. It's how football works. Trip 2, fair enough, mate. Fans have changed since social media. Oh, 100%, 100%. Are you going to maybe the hype that Xhaka gets is because of his FIFA stat? Yeah. Bang, bang. Buying young players doesn't mean you have a good youth system. No. Coaching philosophy is what you have good youth system. Caps, you have a spot on talent early and some cost, to be honest. You have to get them early. Wenger had some good scouts. David Dean leaving, Kroenke jumping in and stopped our success. Yeah, they didn't have the same mindset. American football is different as well. American sports, you get a fair shot to get the talent in American sports. Drafting, it's evened out, you know, which stops one team to dominate. Wilson has put, since Lukonga is in the bag, how many midfielders do Arsenal need? I think we need 2 more. Dopamine apps, that's what they are, dopamine apps. Fran, you think there's still a player on Willian? Listen, Willian doesn't turn bad overnight, right? 24 months ago or 36 months ago, everyone was talking about the kid's going Barcelona because he destroyed Barcelona in the Champions League. It's just not worked out for him. He's come to an Arsenal where Arsenal have been poor. He's hardly played. He's not going to beat a man. He looks for inside. He looks for 1-2s. He looks for rapid round the corner. He's a very intelligent footballer. So it sounds really crazy what I'm going to say, but sometimes players are too good for a team that they go to. Odegaard was too good for us. It sounds mad that Willian is probably too good in the way that he's been playing football for years to play in a terrible Arsenal team, which makes him look very, very bad, and then he just lost confidence and he got lazy and he likes his restaurant or whatever. So that's what I think about Willian. But he'll probably get a move and he'll go and win Champions League or something like that. Which two midfielders should Arsenal be signing and why? I think they should go for Neves because he will dictate play, and Aouar would be good in a little attacking offense. That's what I would go for. Bang Pound Sport, what are your best and worst memories at halftime tea talk? My best memory was when I was in the state of flow. So flow is when just everything clicks for you. No matter what you do, it goes right. And that was probably when I scored my best goal, which was on my Twitter at Luton away. And that was probably flow. Halftime was just, the manager said to me at the time, people are here watching and you can be an international if you continue to do what you're doing for 6 months and you'll get a Premier League move. That was the best time. The worst time, same manager. I was shocking, same season, and he threw tea on me and dragged me. That was the worst. Bellerin is absolutely awful and needs to get his. Yeah, he'll be gone. Don't worry about him. I think Max Aarons. I'm hoping that we get Max Aarons. Do you think Arsenal would ruin Messi? Well, listen, Messi would get the ball. The thing is with Messi can take 4 or 5 players on, even still now. Messi can take 4 or 5 players on. So very hard to ruin Messi. But Arsenal would ruin a Ronaldo, for example, who would rely on everyone else doing the running or passing him the ball. Siander's put, if we don't sign anyone else, how do you see us going? If we don't sign anyone else, I think we will finish 12th. I can be honest. What has been your best moment as an Arsenal fan? There's a few, isn't there? There's a few, but the one that always sticks out for me was when we won at Old Trafford, and Keown and everyone was going crazy. That I can't remember what year it was. I can't remember, but I just remember that sitting in my, because some of my family are Man United fans, it was the best ever. Chris has put, so excellent academy or clever scouting. What is best for you? Excellent academy or clever scouting? Clever scouting, if you want to shorten the process to success. But if you're looking long term, then obviously academy would be your number one. But you still need to make good scouting. Your scouting should just be number one on the list for me. Get Stan Kroenke on the phone, give Messi 5% of Arsenal to join. Now, that is a man that would change it. What's been your worst moment as an Arsenal fan? Worst moment is probably now. Worst moment. But how important is recovery process footballer? We're taking it for granted, land you in trouble sooner or later. Recovery is one of your biggest assets. Recovery is one of your biggest assets because you have to train, 2-3 hours a day. Your body is intense every single day. You mentally have to be in the right space. So if you don't recover, if you don't rest, if you put alcohol, if you put substances in your body, that's going to stop you from recovering or not doing it right. You just won't recover. And when people talk about, they're unlucky with injuries, a lot of the time it'll be things that they're doing. Your Daniel Sturridge's attorney at the moment, maybe something that they're doing off the pitch. There's always something. If you get a sports scientist in, they'll be doing something, or their bodies are not in line or something. The one side of the body is compensating for the other side of the body through lack of muscle on one side or whatever. 12th, yeah, I honestly, I'm not lying. Do you think it's vital that Arsenal need to get off to a great start and new Prem? It's vital. You know why? Because the pressure straight away on Arteta will... Listen, we've got 3 tricky games. Brentford's going to be tricky, and the other 2, are going to be very, very hard. If we lose the first 3 games, can you imagine the pressure on Arteta? Can you imagine? Now, it takes about 10 games to start looking at the the table. It takes about 10 games to start looking at players to get in the groove, to connect, because there's partnerships around the pitch. Your centre halves, your right back and your right winger, your centre half and your CDM, your centre forwards or your three centre forwards, your two midfielders plus maybe the one in the hole. They're all partnerships which then have to collab into one big partnership to get success. We're going to be under serious pressure. There's no doubt about that. We're going to be under serious pressure. So we need to win we need to get at least 4 points from the first 3 games, in my opinion. Tony's put best moment was when we won the league at Anfield and had to win by 2 goals, scored in the last minute. Now, that's the game, Tone. That's the game for me that made me support Arsenal, because I was supporting Liverpool that day. And as a kid, you just go with the team that wins. Akuna Matata, thanks for popping in, has also said Rice and Haaland away to Chelsea now. Timo Werner will be out. Do you want Timo Arsenal? Now, a lot of people would say no. I would take Tino at the drop of a hat. You know why? Because he will create so much space for other strikers to score. I would take him at the drop of a hat. He's better than anything we've got. And he will start scoring goals. Declan Rice, if he goes for 50 million, that's about right. But I was talking 75 and 80 million. It's daylight robbery, really is. And Wilson's also put Arteta has no excuses, as the club has put these things right. Arteta will need time, but people won't give it him. Brandon's also put, as a striker, Fran, question, who would you pick, Henry or Righty? Henry, I loved Henry, one of my favourites, R9 and then Henry. Bang Bang's put, how do you recover from failure? What helped you move bigger and better things? Good question, because a lot of people in this world, even my wife and in myself, I say about failure. Failure is good. Failure is part of the process. Failure needs to happen. Rejection needs to happen. And then it's what you learn from those failures, what you could have done better, which builds you stronger. And then you go to the next level. So you want to fail. You need to fail in life. And the more you fail, the better you become. So try and fail as much as you can, which sounds really weird, because you'll get better. That's my advice on that one. And the only way you fail as much as you can is by trying as much as you can on things that are out of your comfort zone. Caps, we don't have to win with big games, just lose them. We don't have to, listen, no one's expecting us to beat Chelsea, Man City and all these teams, but we need to beat the teams in and around us or below us. You're very informative, enjoying the streams. Thanks, Ollie B. Really do appreciate the support. That's why we did it. That is why we did this channel. Wills just put, I believe that Arsenal needs 7 points in the first 3 games, to be honest. Ooh, that's a tough ask, Wills. That is a tough ask. Thomas plays 252. Thanks for popping in. Question, would Dominic Calvert-Lewin be a good fit for Arsenal? Yeah, he would be. We'd get crosses in the box. He works hard, but he costs too much money. Ivan Toney is the second one to that. That's all I would go for. 1989 was the year to become an Arsenal fan. Yeah, what a year. I was 9 years old, first proper game. Kuna Matana, I feel sorry for Timo. Chelsea acting very badly of they selling. Well, Chelsea, they buy you. If you're not doing it, you're gone. So, it's one of the ruthless clubs. Manages everything. Wilson's put, which defender did you prefer, Tony Adams or John Terry? Tony Adams. I played against John Terry at Stamford Bridge, and I did say he was the best defender that I'd ever played against, and he's got a bright future. We're both the same age, and look what he went on. But Tony Adams would have been horrible to play against. Absolutely horrible. Ash's put, love the stream, love the support. Wilson, which player do you prefer, Sol Campbell or Rio? Played against Sol as well when he was at Arsenal and when he was at Spurs. But I prefer Rio as a player, but I would have preferred to play against Rio rather than Sol. He was an absolute beast. Absolute beast. Contrarian Carnage put, France, second half of last season, the team improved. Now new players on the way, expecting them to click immediately is naive. Think Arteta will be gone by Christmas. Yeah, we did improve. Got to give him that. We did improve, and I do think he will be gone by Christmas. That one thing I do think will happen. I do think he will be gone by Christmas because I can't see us doing well. Which midfielder, Vieira or Roy Keane? Vieira was a better footballer. Roy Keane was more of a leader, in my opinion. More of a leader. So we're going to wrap it up in about 5 minutes. That's we'll wrap it up. Another unbelievable stream. Honestly, I love these live streams. Love getting on. It really, I really look forward to it. Great shout. I remember my wife and everyone in the chat was saying, Fran, do live. It's more interactive. So when I have to get out and do things sometimes, but a lot of the time because I work from home, I'm available to try and get on stream every day. But you know what families like, sometimes they need the attention and you need to put them first if they need to play, etc. I like my babies. But even though they're not all babies, but I think the lives are really kicked it off. So I really do appreciate coming in. I know some of you are probably working and etc. So when everything starts to be lifted, if things do need to change and you're going back to work and you're out of the house at 4 because it's one of those times and you want to do it maybe later on, then please let me know. You know, we adjust to our community. That's exactly what we'll do. Chris has put Keane was a thug that kicked the ball. Yeah, he was old school. He could never play today. He'd get sent off every 2 minutes. Actually, I think he would probably get played around today because the ball does move quicker today. And he would be lunging in left, right, and centre. Wilson's put, you are a legend, friend. Hey, listen, the word legend is used far too easily in society today, but I appreciate the compliment. I really do. Like you say, I really do. We need to get to at least 100,000. Then I'll start saying we've got a chance of getting near legendary. That's for sure. So Darren's put great content, non-biased views. That's the way I think we need to keep this channel. I think we need to keep this channel non-biased because we can then build a community where everyone and we can all bounce off each other. I think that's the key. No one takes anything to heart. Opinions are great to have. No one's ever right. No one's ever wrong, really, because everyone has different opinions. Bam Bang has asked me, Bam Bang, why you played with John Terry? That's awesome, man. Can we get a couple of football stories, mate? I got one for you. What do you think at the end of a rainbow? Fran, because his insight is worth more than a pot of gold. I like the compliment. I really do. I played against John Terry in the FA Cup. The couple of Peterborough fans will know in here. We played at Stamford Bridge. We lost 5-0. However, it was a great experience. Yeah, Desai, Good Johnson, Hasselbank, all these people, fantastic, unbelievable, fantastic. So played against some top players. But the great compliment. Give me a Riquelme, could play 8, 9, or 10. Oh yeah, I wish. Was put laugh out loud. Chris has put. We need a song for you. How we're thinking of Cap1. Mud Buddha's put, judging by how the Kroenkes work in the US, I don't think Arteta will get sacked. He would have to have a worse season. True. Yeah. Are you a fan of AFTV? Hey, listen, I watch some bits and bobs. I don't watch all of it. I know them. What they're doing is good for, you know, fans. But you're always going to have people who don't like what they do. But yeah, I'm not got really a bad word to say about them, to be honest. Free likes. Come on, yeah, hit the like, people. Hit the likes. The likes really help. That's the fee. Kunamatata's put, for me, AFT is a big no. Too many rival fans coming in here and hate players. Arsenal players need support. Yeah, I do think platforms do generate too much negativity. That is for sure. It was just put, I want Arsenal to be great again, but not the same crap every season. Bandman's talking to Chris. He's put how we definitely need a song for this soon to be a legend. And Wilson put big up of the likes, people. Yeah, hit the likes, people. Really do appreciate it. So, right, again, thanks for everyone popping in. It's been magnificent again. Really do appreciate it. I hope everyone has had a good day. I hope you have a great evening. We will see you all tomorrow, hopefully at the same time, and we'll see what we're going to speak about tomorrow. But as always, if you have not, make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and please share the video so we can build this great community. And that is me for today, people. Hope you are well, and I will see you tomorrow. You all take care.